Okay, so I wanted to address first Team A, and
Yes.
I have put together like a table with 5 criteria, and it focuses on like my general comments and then evidence of research, the background context,
Mhm.
target audience, and visual design. So, firstly, I want to talk about my impressions of Team A. I thought it was a very, very strong presentation, and the topic is excellent. I
Mhm.
really felt like that it was an engaging topic, and that I also felt like they had really good branding, but it wasn't consistently applied across the entire presentation. So,
Mhm.
and then the other impression I had was that the introduction was maybe a little bit long, and
Yeah.
that had a knock-on effect to the later uh, presentations by the whole team. And that gave me the impression that maybe it wasn't perhaps properly rehearsed. And at the end, I felt a bit sorry for John because he didn't have time to really go
Right.
to
I
his.
feel glad I have to stop stop
Yeah,
him.
but it was right because we gave them a 15-minute window to present. So the on the evidence of research, I felt it was really good that they really put together a good presentation on the key issues, but at the same time, I felt like the slides looked like a typical academic presentation, lots
Right.
of charts, etc. And I really would have liked to have seen that a little bit more simplified. We've talked about how these presentations should be more simple and that it could be much more accessible. So rather than presenting a lot of data that we can't read as the audience,
Mhm.
they could have picked out the key messages. On the context and the background, I really like this idea of the stop before it starts as a core message. I thought that was really clear and it was really engaging, a real focus to the strategy. But I think that also it could have been presented with a little bit better photography, for instance, like
Mhm.
this talk, even though they introduced a quote by somebody, they didn't give a visual to show who that could be, even though it might be imaginary, we could connect better to somebody if they showed like who's speaking, who is it that's giving that message. On the target audience, I felt that could have been a lot stronger. And
Mhm.
it wasn't really clear why they would be using a video to connect to that target audience. So I felt there was a missing link there. And then finally on visual design, I thought that the branding was excellent. That love amazing use of pink, but it
Yeah.
could be consistent across all the slides as I said, and it felt like halfway through the presentation slipped into another format. I think when the Yang was presenting and when John was presenting, it was kind of different to the other ones. So I think maybe what the presentation of what would have worked really well if somebody had brought together, once all the slides were in, somebody had reworked them to have a
Mhm.
consistent branding across the board. But other than that, I thought it was excellent. How about you?
Just to add to your part on research, I find the research is really solid and focusing on accuracy, but some emotional appeal can be used to add to this persuasiveness. I really hope that the group could work together to tell the research story because this issue of breast cancer in China or in Asia in general is a very significant issue to be communicated to the public. And because it's breast cancer and it's related to women and the breast, it's an issue that it's not visible. So that's something I would say, transitioning from research to the context. And I was actually expecting the framing here, like a more contextual framing. Um, this also leads to if this project resonates with the target audience. I think also really like the visual and the design itself, and the idea of picking up a water the everyday life water bottle and then put the breast cancer awareness there. So I actually expect a link between the breast cancer sign and the meaning of the sign. Because if I haven't really done this because I didn't really push my students to do more contextual research. As the breast cancer symbol in China was less appeared or less visible in public, how much can everyday audience understand that particular pink ribbon? Does it even share the same or similar meaning with what's happening in a more English-speaking context or non-Chinese context? So this is something I really would encourage our group to think about, even reflect on after the research. So overall, I really liked how this issue was brought up, but I would want the story to be stronger. So yeah, I'm sure the group could work a bit better if given more time. Or I understand we were waiting for students in at the beginning of your semester, and then the group had some disorganization earlier. So so far, I think the group did design this project and then completed the completion that's satisfactory. Yeah.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for bringing up the framing issue, because that was something that we really tried to get the students to focus on, and each group did to different degrees. But it's really important, although it's not within our overall criteria, it's really important to point to where we see good examples or poor examples of framing. Great. Okay.